What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, we talk about it right here. Right now, I want to give you guys my review, or at least my thoughts, on the first season of the Netflix original series, Dash and Lily. Now, I'm not a big romance guy, obviously. I'm more of a comic book nerd, Star Wars nerd, Star Trek nerd. I'm definitely not a young adult novel guy, and this series was based on a series of young adult novels by the same name. But what I am is a Christmas guy, and I've talked about that before on this channel. I'm a sucker for Christmas movies, and to have a series that kind of has a Christmas theme to it, yeah, I was on board with that. I was like, I'm gonna at least check it out. And let me say this about this series. It sucked me in enough where I finished the series, but I didn't have a particularly good time. That's the best way I can say it. Like, I was into it. I was into the characters. I didn't find Dash to be particularly likable. I found Lily to be extremely likable, but I didn't find them to really be that much of a believable pair. When they finally got together, I didn't find that they had a lot or any chemistry together. But by the time they got together, I was already invested in each one of them as individual people, that it didn't matter that I didn't really see them together. It was more about the fact that I wanted to see what happened with these two people that I'd spent basically two different timelines with, that had various convergences through the show. So it's about this girl who's kind of socially awkward, never really been in a relationship. She tries to get over, this struggle that she has with relationships by putting a challenge into a local bookstore in New York for a teenage boy to come along and find this book and decide to follow the challenges. And the way that they had the book written out, it was just believable enough where I bought it. Like, there isn't even a part where it said, if you're not a teenage boy, please put this back. So I mean, it was the way the book was narrated, at least I was able to buy that part of it. But they ended up passing this notebook back and forth, getting to know each other, but in the process, we as the audience got to know them. And like I said, I didn't find him particularly likable, but I still had enough, I still learned enough about his character to have a lot of apathy for him, and I had a lot of understanding for why he is the way he is. And I just found her to be charming, if not a little unrealistic, right? I was trying to figure out I couldn't really put my finger on what the problem was I had with her character, but it really was the idea that she was more of a caricature that you could tell an author came up with on what would a socially awkward but yet attractive girl be. And it came up with this person that could probably never really exist in New York City. But all that being said, it was set around Christmas, so it did have a certain level of charm with it that I enjoyed. Both of the characters I got to know well enough that I wanted to continue the journey. And when they finally did get together towards the end of the series, I didn't care enough. How do I say this? Their chemistry was not good enough for me to care that they got together. All I cared was that the story was coming to an end. So this is a show that I took the ride, I watched it, and I was engaged, but I didn't enjoy it enough to ever watch it again. And that's just the reality of it. It wasn't funny enough for me to get repeat laughs out of the couple chuckles that there were, and there weren't many. The narrative didn't have enough twists and turns for me to rewatch it to really try to get surprised again. I mean, it was just a very straightforward character study of two different people that wasn't frankly that in depth of a character study because neither one of them were very realistic in the first place. They were both kind of, this is the angsty teenage boy who's being played by a mid to late 20 person, and this is an angsty teenage, or this is a goofball, very sweet but very socially insecure teenage girl who's also played by a mid 20 to late 20s person. Um, so let's see. Yep, Midoriya Wama is the girl who plays Lily. Lily is supposed to be 17 in this, and Midoriya Wama is 26. 26. So if they're gonna do a season 2, they better pump that out quick. And she did a fine job. Like I said, she was charismatic, and she was the bright spot of this show. Austin Abrams as Dash, a teenager who hates Christmas. All right, he's only 24, and he plays a 17-year-old. So yeah, like I said, it was good enough that I finished it, but it was not good enough that I'm gonna ever watch it again. If they make a season 2, that first episode better catch me, because I don't know if I'll sit through another 3 or 4 episodes trying to get engaged into it like I did this one. If it doesn't catch me right away, I'm probably gonna peace out, because this just wasn't good enough for me to sit through a season 2 or to sit through this again, or season 2 of the same quality, or season 1 again. If season 2 upped the quality, then maybe. But there just wasn't enough good content in here, and it just wasn't Christmassy enough. It was set at Christmas, but it wasn't a Christmas show, and that's the whole reason I turned it on in the first place. So, that's my thoughts on Dash and Lily Season 1, the Netflix original show. What did you think of it? Did you watch it? Did you care to watch it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Oki Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you later.